Hello, welcome back. Welcome to today's Monday stream. I hope you guys are having a great day. Hope you had a great weekend. I know mine was fabulous. I hope you all are just having a great day today. Let's get right back into the Long Dark. We're doing the story mode. Actually, when I loaded up the Long Dark today, I got a new little intro here. So it says, "Dear community, NoClip just released a short document interviewing the Long Dark creative director Ralph Van Leeuwenhoek about the inspiration for survival mode. Please tell me more below to watch it." So let's go ahead and watch it. I haven't watched this yet, guys. Well, it took me to a YouTube page, so hang on one second, guys. I'll fix that. 1 second, give me a second. Just need to change our mode really quick. 1 second. Gotta find where there it is, window capture. And we'll open that back up. Let me go to the right capture. And we want this one. There we go. Alright, so let me get to... Oh, that didn't work, did it? Let me do it one more time, guys. Oh, I gotta move it up 1 second, guys. That's why you can't see it. Alright, now you should be able to see it. There we go, that's what we want. Sorry about that, guys.
The real inspiration for The Long Dark was probably Fallout 3. I'm a huge Fallout fan. I have been from the very, very beginning of that franchise, and I found myself spending a lot of time wandering like the desolate wasteland, loving the exploration and really not enjoying the combat. And so I found myself, wondering, could you create an experience that would be, like 95% about exploration and discovery, and I guess.
Oops. Sorry about that, guys. Hang on 1 second. Let's go back.
And so I found myself, wondering, could you create an experience that would be, like 95% about exploration and discovery, and recreating that feeling of, every time you see a building on the horizon, you want to go in there, and every time you open a locker, you hope to find something valuable in there. And I found that such a compelling part of the experience. I just, asked myself, could you really create a game around that idea? My name is Raphael Van Leeuwenhoek. I work at Hinterland Studio, where I'm the founder and creative director. I've been making games for, I guess, about 18 years now. I started at Relic Entertainment, where I worked on the first Dawn of War and the first Company of Heroes. And I ended up at Ubisoft Montreal as the narrative director on Far Cry 3, which was a pretty awesome experience. And then I went back to Relic, actually, and directed Space Marine. I think every developer goes through that sort of almost postpartum process. Like every time you finish a game, you're like, oh, what am I doing with my life? Like, is it really worth, kind of putting yourself through this? But I guess I was just at that moment, in my career, and, my kids were really young at that point. My wife and I were really asking ourselves, like, is this kind of what we want to do for the next however many years? And we concluded that we didn't. Yeah, my wife and I left Vancouver. We set up, in a small community on Vancouver Island, and I think that's where kind of Hinterland was born, because I felt like I, in a way, had sort of exiled myself a little bit from the mainstream industry, that, left the city and sort of set up in this really small remote community. And a lot of the, what The Long Dark became, I think, was a part of that process, like of sort of understanding what I wanted to do and what I wanted to make, and then being inspired by the environment around me. It was really more about that, trying to recreate that Fallout 3 experience of exploration, but then also, instead of having, the enemies and the combat, which I found was sort of detracted in Fallout 3 from the core experience, could you make the environment the obstacle? And so suddenly, when you think about things in those terms, you ask yourself, how can I emphasize the vulnerability of the player, the character that the player is inhabiting? And then it just becomes about thirst and hunger, fatigue and cold. In a way, that's what makes the minute-to-minute experience of the game compelling. Even if I am walking through a forest looking for my next shelter, I have this sense of the constant depletion of my resources. So I'm always getting a little bit more hungry as every minute goes by. I'm getting a bit colder, I'm getting a bit more tired, I'm getting a bit more thirsty. And as those needs become kind of more critical, as I'm unable to, address them, or if I ignore them for too long, they start to kind of slowly chip away at my overall health, which then makes me vulnerable to the myriad other ways in which, the game can kind of take you down. The hundreds of different obstacles, the hundreds of different, ways of the afflictions or wildlife can get in your way, or a piece of gear, gear that you really need can break because you didn't maintain it. So that was really the core idea, was how can we turn the environment into not the enemy, but the obstacle? And then how can we put the right pieces in place to surface information to the player so they can make interesting choices, but on many different sort of time scales. So the immediate need of oh my gosh, there's a blizzard coming and I have to find shelter, to the longer term need, how will I survive 3 or 4 days from now? Do I have enough food? What should I do? Should I try to go hunting? Carry this heavy rifle with me and I only have one round? Will I get lucky enough to find a wolf? And if I do, will I be able to kill it? And then will I be able to survive long enough to harvest the meat? Should I rather go and try ice fishing? Should I look through houses and hope to find cans of dog food? Whatever the longer term strategy might be. So that's kind of how we try to balance all those things. The Long Dark is ultimately a game about decision making, and what makes every decision feel meaningful is the fact that you might die tomorrow and then you have to start over if you want to keep playing. So it's the permadeath that really adds a lot of drama is the wrong word, but meaning to the choices that you have to make. And then another key principle in survival mode was how we wanted the player to learn how to navigate through the world. This idea that we didn't just give you a map that gets automatically populated with information as you go through the world, or already has all the information in it. We really wanted to create that sense of being lost in a wilderness that's unfamiliar to you. And so what we did was we created, various regions that had places that you could learn to recognize, whether it's a strange rock formation or an actual structure, or a lake is here, or here's a river, so that you could, if dropped anywhere in the world after a little bit of exploration, provided you've played the game and learned the world, you could orient yourself. It's interesting because I think that feeling of being lost in the wilderness and not immediately knowing where you are is probably one of the most rewarding parts of the game. And whenever a blizzard sweeps in and you immediately lose all your sense of orientation, and I mean, I know the world probably as well as anyone. I still get lost regularly, and that feeling of being lost and that kind of panic that you get from that experience is extremely rewarding in a strange way. It reminds you of how vulnerable you are, and I guess I've always felt proud of the fact that the Long Dark embraces this idea of being a vulnerability fantasy. So not trying to be another game that makes you feel like an ultimate hero that can overcome all odds, but one that takes it down and reminds you, the next can of peaches you eat might be the thing, that kills you, right? A lot of players who actually come to the Long Dark self-identifying as non-gamers. So a lot of people who come and say, I've never been a gamer, I don't play games, but I encountered your game somehow, and I find it, very cathartic, and I find it meditative, and I find it to be something more than a game for me. Not to get too personal, but we have players who have suffered loss, and for them they found the escaping into the wilderness of the Long Dark to be sort of a cathartic meditative thing. We've had people who've struggled with substance abuse that have contacted us to say, I was really struggling with this issue, and really your game gave me some kind of an anchor that I could escape into. So that's, as a developer, that's probably the most rewarding thing that we hear, and the ways in which our game can be more than a game, I guess. In survival mode particularly, we've resisted the temptation to put other characters in there, even though I think a lot of players would like to see that. I think that it's rare in our super connected world, and working in entertainment and technology and being in front of a community, it's very rare to feel alone, in a good way. And I mean, we can often feel isolated, but not alone. And I do think that is something that the Long Dark can do for people. That's an unexpected outcome, that from a gameplay perspective, the realization is that you're vulnerable and everything here can kill you, and there's that sense of wanting to triumph against the odds and the feeling of elation that comes from surviving one more day and seeing the next sunset. But then there's the other aspect, I think, that is less about the character and the survivor in the game and more about the player, which is it can be an hour or two, away from the noise of the world, where you just hear the crunching of the snow under your feet and the wind in the trees, and a wolf howling hopefully in the distance. And I think that there are not a lot of opportunities in our world right now for that kind of quiet.
All right, guys, let's get right back in. I just wanted to show you his thoughts, but that's interesting. I did not know he came from Fallout, Greg Mick, but I can totally see it. All right, let's get back into the game. So now we know about the mini documentary, and you guys can't see my screen. Hang on one second. Let's fix that. Hopefully that should be better. All right, 1 second here. I'm also doing something else. Was setting something up for you guys. So let me refresh that. That didn't work. Alright, 1 second here. Let's try that. And that's not working. Hang on 1 second, guys. Alright, now it's working. Just had to hide it and make it so you guys could see it. Alright, so sorry about that, guys. Back in, now we go. Okay, so now we got another little screen here. It says, Achievement unlocked, survived 1,825 days. Dear community, The Long Dark has released an early access 5 years ago on September 22nd, 2014. And by the way, I did play that on pretty much, I think it was first day it was released. I didn't get it in Patreon, but I did play it on day one. And I did find it funny when he talked about that some people play for an hour or two. That would be the rare, I think. A lot of people play it for a lot longer, I think. Alright, well, I'm going to check one thing here, guys. Make sure this is still running. Not for you guys. Okay, so it says, more than 3 million of you have ventured into the quiet apocalypse since. Please select Tell Me More below to join as we celebrate the milestone, and thank you for your ongoing support. I'll do that later. Now let's see what the next one is. Dear community, do you have fond memories associated with the older version of The Long Dark, or maybe you're new to the game but would love to see how it matured over time? You can now step back in time and experience the game as it once was. Thanks to the time capsule. To visit, please select Tell Me More. Alright, you know what? I want to know more about that one. So let's quickly do the same thing so you guys can see that. Put it back up. Hang on. 1 second. Move this up to... I gotta look at it one more time. Alright, sorry guys, I'm back. Just trying to get that to work for us. I can't get to show you. There we go. Okay. Now we got it. Alright. We launched on stream on 2014. We already know all that. Oh, you can click and view every single... Okay, we're not going to do that. Sorry. And I know. Sorry, guys. You couldn't see it, but something going wrong with the window capture there. Anyway, let's get right back into the game. So let's go ahead and open this back up, and we'll go to the next part. See what else he has to say. Alright, well, we're going to read that in a second. I just want to make sure this is running for you now, which it's not, so I still got to fix this for you guys really quick. I made sound alerts so you guys can choose sounds that will play randomly in the channel. And I want to make sure that's running for you guys. So give me one more second on that, please. Bear with me. All right, now it's running. So now if you scroll down below the video, you'll see the very first, next to my schedule, you'll see a list of different like sounds you can do, and it will cost you 10 bits, so 10 cents, and you can run a sound on my channel. So if you guys want to use bits, you're more than welcome. There's about 9 sounds or 8 sounds, I think. And I won't know what the random sound is, so you might see me jumping. Dear community, Crossroads Elegy, the new installment in your story mode, will be released on October 22nd. So we're going to hopefully finish this in time for the next episode. Facing the blizzard of the Pleasant Valley, Astrid Greenwood must build all his skills as a doctor to bear on the survival she encounters. But will she get close to Mackenzie and the mystery taken there to President's Mill? To use the teaser trailer to hit me more. Let's go ahead and do the teaser trailer, guys. We're going to see if I can get this to work for you guys. I would love to see the teaser. I don't think it's going to ruin my story mode, so hopefully not. Hang on one second. I definitely want to get this, show this to you guys, so 1 second. Give me a second. There, that wasn't it.
I can't carry it for you.
Hey!
But I can carry you.
I'm going to butcher this, I think. Lily Bits ZZ1, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. We are now at 70 followers. Thank you for that. Pushing me over the edge past that 60 range. I appreciate that. It's awesome. Alright, this is why it's not working. There we go. Now that's what I want. Now I just need to check it one more time and we should be good. There we go. Now we're good. Alright, let me get in full screen for us. Alright, there we go. Ready? Here we go, guys. Let's use the trailer for the new episode 3 story one. Oops. I did it again. Sorry. Alright guys, October 22nd, 2019. Just a short little teaser. But I had to see it, so hope you guys enjoyed that. Alright, let's move this capture back down. And then we can get right into the game now. Now that we have seen everything, let's go in and play. Alright, let's continue our story. Resume. If you remember, we went and talked to the trapper. Athena, thank you so much for the hosting. I appreciate that, buddy. That is awesome. Thank you so much.
I hate your whimper.
Alright, let's see. Why is this? Stand by 1 second, guys. This little alert box is not disappearing like it's supposed to. Alright, let me see if it now worked. 1 second, guys. Let's do a refresh really quick. Theon, thank you so much for the raid. I appreciate that. How's it going? Or hosting, actually. Thank you so much. I love the bear emoji. Thank you, buddy. Alright, now let's make sure my sound alerts work for you guys. Let me just scroll down really quickly. And they're not working again. Oh, boy. They were working 2 seconds ago, and then they decide not to work again. One second. Okay, now they're working. So if you guys look down, Awesome, Athena. Thank you so much for the follow. We're, like I said, or the host, sorry. Hope you're having a good day at work, by the way, Athena. We're just going back into our story mode. We talked to the trapper. Let me get this game back up here. We talked back to the trapper, and he told us to go back to Forlorn Muskeg and go to the tower. So that's where we left off, and that's where we're gonna go. So let's just get a move on. And I'll give you guys a teaser of the sounds really quick. So let's say there was a bear. You guys could pay 10 bits and have this come up. So you guys can have fun with that. If you have bits that you want to donate, I would appreciate that. And no pressure, but if you want to have some fun sounds come up, go ahead and put those in there. And you might hear me play some free ones once in a while. Let's see. Alright, so we're going to keep moving. How much inventory do I have? 79 pounds. Why am I weighing so heavy? Let's see. Thought I dropped off most of my stuff. Yeah, pretty much did. Okay. 79 pounds isn't that bad. It's only 10 pounds over. Realistically, I think you should be able to carry like 100, but you know, they want to cap you at 60, so. Now, if you're well rested, you can get a bonus and be able to carry that much. So. Alright, here we go. Keep going down and around. So, again, welcome everybody to the live chat. We're playing in Long Dark story mode. We're trying to, as you hopefully guys see, the new episode 3 comes out October 22nd, right around Halloween, which we are going to be doing the Halloween. Hopefully they had released a Halloween special for Long Dark, and we will be doing that. So, looking forward to that. So, alright, let's see. If we come up over this way, we can cut back and get there quicker. So let's do that. We'll get a move on. But I did think that was interesting that the director of the game played Fallout 3 and he loved the layout of Fallout 3. He just didn't like the battle. And so he created this game and made the battle be the elements, which I think is really cool. So this game's come a long way from 2014. And they still are releasing patches and story mode, so they've kept true to the fans. That's awesome. I mean, they've got a lot of people playing this game, so there's been many other games that now have come around, gotten better, but never like continuously. Well, there's some games, but this is one that they continuously always have dropped new content and continually working on things, listening to the community, and that's a big thing in games, in my opinion, is if you listen to community, because the community is the people that are playing the game, so they're the ones that are going to know, hey, this doesn't work, or this could be improved this way. And if you listen, they're doing your work for you. I mean, it's like free employees, basically. And I did find it funny when he said that he's still gets lost in his own game, and he knows 90% of the map, but he's still, even though he knows that he still gets lost, which is a nice thing to know for me, since I know a lot of it, or some of it, but not a lot of it. So it's getting really foggy, guys. Didn't expect it to get this foggy, to be honest. That's okay. I mean, we could sleep, but we're fine. So, hey, look at that, and I am so happy to see that. The sub goals, if you look down in the bottom, it's actually updating. It was not updating before, so now it shows the 70 follows from a Lily Bits Z1. So that is actually keeping it up to date, which is awesome. Let's see what else is new. Of course, the sound alerts are new, and then I'm working on a challenge for 100 followers. The challenge would be if it can be done, if we can get there in 57 days, so 2 months basically. Right now, all I had was a Hawaiian shirt because my plan of what I was going to do isn't going to work on Twitch. They probably wouldn't like what I was going to try to do, so I'm going to come up with something else. One of the ideas was to paint my face, and I haven't really come up with anything else. So, I mean, if you guys have ideas, I'm welcome to hear them. I was going to put out a straw poll, I think, when I get close to what the decision of what the, narrowing it down, but I thought maybe paint my face all pink or something. I don't know. I wasn't going to shave my face or beard because I'm trying to grow it out for winter. So, plus, it's cold out here, so. And everybody, I hope everybody likes my coonskin hat there. Actually, this is my hat from when I was a kid. So I was at my parents' house. It's kind of funny. I was at my parents' house and down in their basement. It was on the wall, and I'm like, can I actually take that back? Mom's like, it's yours. I'm like, well, it would be perfect for the Long Dark for my channel, so this will be the new addition to the Long Dark. And on the other games, which tomorrow is Subnautica, and then Wednesday, actually, I'm going to be doing an 8-hour stream. That's going to be different than normal. And then that's random games. And then Thursday, we'll be doing Dragon Quest as usual, 8 o'clock to 12 p.m. And each day I'm going to have some kind of something I'm adding to the channel that I'm wearing. So keep an eye out for that. Should be fun. All right, we just need to keep going. The only good thing is it's fog, but it's at least we're just following the railroad tracks. So that's a good thing. And I would drop some stuff, but it's getting cold. So we're thirsty. Let's drink some water. All right, and let's see. Southwest Tower, North Tower, and Southeast Tower. Well, that's the nice thing is it shows me where they are on the map. That's kind of nice. That's nice. That's going to make it a little easier. Okay. So let's keep going. Oh, maybe it was just my thirst was the thing that was slowing me down. That's nice. Alright, so we'll keep going. Yeah, you might hear Elsa in the background. She's playing in her room, so. Alright, let's see here. Keep going. Alright. I'm gonna check because I'm weighing too much weight. Why am I so heavy? Don't really have that much stuff. We can drop these rose hips. They're only 0.17 of a pound though. 0.11, we'll drop that. Summon shooter. Dog food. Cattails are good food. I don't really see. I'm wearing everything I can, so that's. Well, I did add more clothing, so that might weigh it down a little bit. And we do now have the spear, but it's not in your inventory; it's in your special items. So I don't think the spear counts towards your weight, to be honest. Okay, we'll keep going. Yeah, we gotta get out of this area first, and then we'll go there. So let's do that. Keep going. All right, there's the train car. Oh, can't go that way. Alright, fair enough. We'll go around. Oh, what's that? Driving gloves? They're leather. They'd be good for our shoes, I guess. Alright, let's see. So we need to go this way. And we'll go to that first fallen train.